This matches the...
It does.
Haha, dude,
Yes.
see? I knew I would
The pillow matches the carpet, matches the clock. You got it.
This is like dating a redheaded chick.
You
and,
get
and her fucking vagina hair matches her head.
a pleasant surprise. Who would have thought you walking up those stairs, I'd have a matching pillow, carpet, and clock.
And who would have thought that I would connect it to a redheaded chick?
Hey, however your mind works. Happy St. Patty's Day. We're both celebrating by drinking water.
Dude.
Good for us.
To be honest with you,
I'm like...
I didn't even realize it was St. Patty's Day until like 3 p.m. My roommate was like, hey, Dylan and Jack are coming over to watch the games. He's like, we're going to go out for St. Patty's Day. I was like, oh shit. I didn't even realize. I guess it's because I'm 100% Italian and I don't think of that stuff.
Sure.
But yeah, happy St. Patty's Day.
Celebrating by wearing all black.
Didn't even think about that till now. Didn't even think about that till now.
Oh man, but yeah, you were saying earlier that you're sober. So like, why would you care about St. Patrick's Day? Because like, I'm not a big fan of St. Patrick's Day. I just don't like getting shit for not wearing green. So I'll like, all right, St. Patty's Day, paying attention. It's just like crowded bars.
I used to get into
everybody
it,
drinking.
I used to get into it, and the reason why I used to get into it is I've been sober for 7 years, but at one point I wasn't. And you know, my family owns a restaurant back in Buffalo, where I'm from, Buffalo, New York, small town. Everything revolves around like drinking and eating there.
Yeah.
They have the second biggest St. Patrick's Day parade in like
in the country?
I think in the United States, if I remember correctly. It's like the second biggest one. But length, as far as
got
length
you.
is concerned.
Okay, I got you.
But it was a thing, man. Like we would party. I mean, it was like an all day thing. I got into it. You know what I mean? Like it's any excuse to drink. Like I don't even know who the fuck St. Patrick is. To be honest with you. Everyone's got this thing. St. Patrick was Italian. I was like, cool. I don't give a shit. I just give me an excuse to fucking drink.
He was Italian?
I don't know.
I thought the whole. Actually, I don't know. I thought I knew, but I realized today. I was like, okay, so I know the Saints all are like known for something. I have no idea what this guy did.
I see the signs and the shirts that say St. Patrick was Italian. I don't give a shit. I'm 100%. I don't give a shit. I don't care if he was fucking Polish. I don't care. All it was for me was an excuse to drink with everybody, wear green, and then do cocaine in the end of the night. That's all it was.
See, okay, that I think you hit the key right there because like also growing up in the Midwest, that's very nice. Not intentional on my part. Every night was drinking night. Yeah. Like we didn't need an excuse to go drinking. I think the holiday allows you to do more cocaine. Yeah. And that's what people get
amateur night
about.
They call it. It was called amateur. That's the thing. Like St. Patrick's Day. I think the thing about St. Patrick's Day, it was the first. I don't want to say the first, but it was maybe like the kickoff of the day drinking time of year, because you know daylight savings time kicks in. Everybody's out. It's daylight earlier. You get up early. You drink all day. You know, for the people that aren't like celebrating the holiday the way, you know, from their, you know, heritage, it was just another excuse to drink early. And then basketball starts, like the March Madness. I always got into that.
That's what I'm way more fired up about.
That's fun.
Like, turn that shit on at noon, and then it's just been on all day.
Right.
And like, my boss is even like, why do you keep looking to the side? I'm like, oh, don't worry, I got a message.
Yeah. And everyone's an expert.
Meanwhile, I'm watching Iowa fucking blow it, and it's like...
and everyone's an expert. Like, my roommate's like, oh, Baylor, this. I'm like, dude, I haven't seen you watch one fucking basketball game the whole year, and you're telling me that. I'm like, what's their mascot? He's like, oh, I think it's the Rams. I'm like, it's not.
It's not.
But yeah, no, it's fun. I'm not happy St. Patrick's Day. I mean, like, I'm sure it'll be fun down in the village tonight.
I was gonna say, do you like still going out on St. Patty's Day just to like see what's going on, or like
no?
It's just kind of.
I mean, like so we didn't have the last 2 years. Last year we were down here a little bit, right, because of the pandemic. There wasn't really much going on, but there was still people out and about for it. I think it was like the start of people going out like normal at some level again. But then the year before there was nothing.
Sure.
That was the start of COVID. And then when I first moved here in 2019, no, I didn't really do much. That was like, I didn't really do much for that either. So it's not really a big thing. Like the last time I really went out for it, maybe it was like 2017. I went out. There was a girl I was interested in. And I went out. Sure. And she was like, "Let's go get." I was like, "You can get wasted. I'll just watch." You know?
Yeah. Oh man, that's that would not be super fun. Not to mention, we're out at bars every single night anyway. Mm-hmm. So it's like I was talking about this with the bartender at the Three Monkeys where I was doing a show.
Yeah.
It was just like, at this point, I'm out at the bar so much that I would rather go to a dead empty bar than a super crowded bar.
Yeah.
But
Same.
that being said, plan on going out tonight.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be enough people to talk to, and it's, I don't know.
My thing I guess I'm 41. You know, I'm about to be 42 in October. So I guess like, and I've been sober for 7 years. So I guess like my version of like going out, because we're at like the clubs and stuff all the time, which is, you know, emulates that bar scene. My version of going out is like, let's go out to dinner. And you're done by fucking 9:30, and you're like, boom, done. Like me and my roommate, we went to the movies the other day. I'm like, we're fucking married. Like, we're married. We went to the movies.
Nothing wrong with a little man movie date.
He's like, what time do you want to go? Do you want to go at 10? I'm like, that's really late, dude. That's really late. And I showered. Yeah. I showered. I put on a nice pair of sneakers. You know, I was like, we're going to the movies, dude.
I'm laughing because comedian Graham Cooper, who you know, we went out to dinner and then we went and saw the Batman. It was just like, all right, so food. We should double date sometime.
I agree.
A great time.
I totally agree. Yeah. That's it though. That's what's fun. I mean, I don't know. Like when you get, it's just.
I didn't dress up though. I didn't put any like effort into that. I showered because I'm not a fucking animal. Right. But like, I don't shoes, clothes, whatever. Just like whatever I got on.
It's my thing, I guess. You know, I mean, and I don't want to say like I dressed up to the nines, but like, you know, like I wore, you know, put a pair of joggers on, you know, had matching hoodie, had my sneakers. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I made this joke a while ago. Like when you get older, like you know that you've reached the pinnacle of like age of is not wanting to do that stuff. It's like when I get dressed to go grocery shopping. You're like, you never know. Like my mom used to say, like, always dress when you leave like you're gonna meet the love of your life. She used to tell me that stuff.
That's some high expectations.
Yeah, I'm like, Mom, fuck off. I'm single at 41. This advice is terrible.
Oh man. Also, have you seen the people in my grocery store? Like, no, not happening. Not in this area. They're all very old.
Yeah, especially in my neighborhood. Mom, I met a 75-year-old woman that's Greek because I live in Astoria. She's great. She cooks for me every day.
Your mom would probably love that.
She probably would. Yeah.
That's okay. So you were saying before this, like shoes are like your thing though. Do you have, I guess let's start with the baseline. Your estimate. How many pairs of shoes do you own?
All right, at the time, okay, I'm a big sneakerhead.
Okay.
And I would say at this moment, I responsibly own around 60 pairs of sneakers.
Wow.
At one time, I irresponsibly owned over 120.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And how long did it take you to buy 120?
When I think back upon it, it's getting just as bad as it was in the beginning. Because it's an expensive habit. It really is. Because I'm really into Jordans. That's my thing. I'm into
those
Jordans.
Prices have gone up,
and it's been they've gotten crazier in the last 3 years. But I started. It's kind of I guess you could call it collecting. I wear them all. That's another thing.
Sure.
I wear all my sneakers. A lot of guys, they don't. A lot of people, I should say, they don't wear them because of sneakerhead females, sneakerhead any gender.
Oh yeah.
And there's a lot of people that don't wear them and they flip them. I don't flip sneakers. I buy them to wear them. There's one pair I have that I probably will never wear. We'll get into that in a little bit.
Okay.
But I don't know. I think what ends up happening is I got rid of a lot of them that I didn't wear much before I moved here. And plus it was like, I'm moving here, I got to consolidate. And I was like, okay, what can I part with? And I didn't even sell them. I gave them away. I donated them. And so I think like half the people in Buffalo are wearing some of my sneakers. But
because there's 400 total people in Buffalo.
Funny story, side story. I went to do a show in Warren, PA, and I asked one of the guys to host it from Buffalo. Me and my roommate went and did it. This was 2 years ago, pre-pandemic. And he showed up to the show and he had a pair of my sneakers on. I was like, yo, where'd you get those? He's like, oh, Liz donated the thing. And I was like, those are mine. Like, I gave those to him. That was so funny. So one time I had like
give them back.
I had like 120.
Give them back right now. You're performing barefoot tonight.
Yeah.
I regret my decision. Give them to me. But 120, that's wild.
It's getting back up there, though.
Okay.
It's just something that I don't want to say I can't control, because I can control. If someone's like, yo, you can't buy sneakers anymore, If you do, you're going to be in trouble. I'm not in financial dire straits or anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't drink. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm
Right.
pretty responsible with my money. So, like, when it's something that I want, I'll go get them. But I take breaks.
Sure.
It's fucking terrible to say.
I mean, it is funny you walked in and one of the first things you said is you looked at the empty floor space. I'll buy my runner and you're like, I put a lot of shoes just right there.
That's the first thing I think of. I'm like, I could put a lot of shoes right there.
There's a lot of baseboard right there that I could put those shoes.
Well, because I am running, at some point soon, I'm going to have to get creative. And I probably would say I average 1 to 3 pairs of sneakers a month, new.
That you buy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had months where I've had 4.
Jeez.
So it's getting back up there now, and I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, I got to get creative. And could I get like creative with closets? Here's the problem, and I wouldn't say it's probably this. Everyone listening is probably like, this is the dumbest fucking problem to have. But the problem is I do like to wear my sneakers.
Yeah.
And when I get to a point where I'm like running out of room, I make excuses to not wear certain pairs, or forget sometimes I have a certain pair because it's on the bottom of the deck, and I have to move 25 pairs of boxes to get to it. So sometimes I'll settle. Man, I'll tell you, if anybody that's financially strapped right now is listening, that's like, fuck this guy. You know what I'm saying?
I want to touch on that for a second, but I also want you to picture, you know those in the parking garages in New York where they got the rotating thing?
Yes.
You got to get one of those
I would kill
for
that.
shoes. Just a Ferris wheel of shoes in your closet. I think it could happen.
The problem is everyone's like, why? Well, why get the the boxes that you can slide them in, and the stackable things. I get, that'd be great. Those take up space too, first of all, and second of all, you keep them in the box to protect them.
Right.
The sun will kill color. It melts glue.
Yeah.
It's something that
I definitely want to get into like maintenance too, because I've seen a lot of that on TikTok. But like, to your point of buying that many and thinking like, fuck that guy, he's got so much money. But it's like, if you're not drinking, and we know, I mean, how many comedians spend $10 to $20 a night every single night on booze?
Oh yeah.
And then that's like $140 a week.
Sure.
Which, if you're buying $150 shoes, like, that's your alcohol budget. Great. Like, who cares for that one?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I know. Your
I don't
logic is
sweat
correct.
it. Like,
Your
I know
logic
people
is
that buy
correct.
bottles for $1,000 every month. It's like, well,
yeah, and it's not like I got a pair of sneakers I can't eat this week. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I plan out how I'm gonna do it. If it's a pair that I really want, if it's a pair that I really, really want and it's like out of my like available budget, I'll use a credit card. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But I only let my credit card get to a certain limit before I'm like, okay, like
10, 20,000. Yeah.
No. No, not that crazy. I know people that are like that. Like, there's a pair that we just touched on that I just recently got that is insanely. It's insane. Like, they're going right now between 5 and I just saw them range it to $18,000.
Woo!
They're a pair of the Dior Jordan 1s.
Car for that.
I know. They're the Dior Jordan 1s, and I just got them. And the crazy thing about them, there's 8,500 of them made. 2,000 of them went to celebrities. 1,000 went to friends and family of Christian Dior. And the rest were raffled off to people.
Sure.
So do the math on that. That's not that many that were left.
It's like 4,000.
4,000, yeah. So 5 million people entered that raffle. So I was able to get, a buddy of mine had a pair. He won the raffle for him. And then he knew somebody that also won the raffle for a pair, which happened to be my size.
No shit.
So the thing is he wanted to sell them. He was trying to sell them, and most people in the sneaker industry aren't going to go buy those off the street because they're like,
Right.
I want to make sure they're real.
Yeah.
So what ended up happening is he had the pair, and he's like, I'm having a hard time selling, so I sell it through StockX or GOAT. They take a fee.
Right.
And he's like,
Which on a $20K pair of sneakers, that's probably a good size fee.
he probably could have sold them for around like $9,000.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So when he offered me them for the price that he gave them to me for, I was like, yes, I'll do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he was kind of doing me a favor.
Gotcha.
He was making some off of it, but he wasn't crushing me. first of all, I wouldn't have spent the money on it if I didn't think that they were investment.
Right.
And it's cool to have the 2,168th pair of all of them that have been made because they're numbered.
Yeah.
And it's in my house. And when I got them, I'm like, I have something illegal right now. I felt like this is so crazy. And like I took pictures of them, and like I had a towel.
You put them like specifically on your renter's insurance, right?
Bro. I've been running my
dog. Paying an extra $700 a month to protect those things.
I've been running my dog through the fucking gauntlet, just like I have a pit bull. I was like, anybody ever comes in here, you know what to do. But it's a different thing. Like everyone's like, you ever gonna wear them? And I was like, I wouldn't wear those like out and about.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's something that I have. I know that I have them. I'm happy I have them. And someone's like, well, when you flip those, and I'm like, I don't really know. I just got them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not like, yeah, I'm going to flip them. It's like, well, you know,
right.
You can make 18 grand. I'm like, I get it. But it's also something that like somebody gets, like, I don't know, like refer to something that you collect or you like. If you got like a baseball signed by Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you're like, holy shit. Someone will say, you could sell that for $2 million. And you're like, well, I don't want to sell it for $2 million because that's mine.
Right.
You know, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Will it change? I don't know.
I mean, there's like the collectibles market right now is just insane for like trading cards, fucking Pokemon cards. My dad gave away like thousands of Pokemon cards like 10 years ago, and now we're like, you know, if you kept those, like we had some good shit in there.
I know,
but you bring up an interesting point with the verification, because I know with like sports cards, you have to send them to a verifier, and they tell you the quality, they tell you, you know, how rare it is, and it costs money. How do you do that with shoes? Is there like systems set up?
There's people that will do it.
Okay.
They take a fee, and they're not stupid either. They know what that fee, they know the percentage. I don't know. I want to say he said it was a 2% fee. Now, I've never sold any, but there's an app called StockX, which you can get, like, say you bought, and the reason why the hype on these sneakers is so high, and it's a majority of Jordans, a majority of Yeezys, it's a majority of collabs that these Nike brands and Adidas brands do with like clothing stores. Like you heard of Off-White, the Virgil Abloh just passed away of cancer. So any collab he did with Nike or Jordan shot up through the roof. Yeah. What people do is unfortunately there's bots that are bidding for these sneakers as well. Yeah. So for people, they have like robots. So no human can bid faster than that bot. So what ends up happening, say you have a bot and you just won 7 pair through the bots that you have in a range of sizes, and they're sitting over there, and you're like, I'm gonna keep a pair for myself, and I'm gonna flip the rest of them. Then what it just becomes the market. Now the market is higher because
it's a stock.
It's a stock, right? Yeah. So StockX is good because if you buy a pair, you win the bid. Like I could go get like shoes that were released in 2012, and a guy's just hanging on to them, waiting for the right seller to purchase them because he has 25 pair of them.
Sure.
It sucks. Don't get me wrong. And that's one of the reasons why, it's one of the reasons of many that I don't flip sneakers. Because if I start flipping sneakers, then I'm fucking the market for the guy that can't. Like, think about a kid that wants a pair of sneakers and he can't get them, or a family can't afford them for him, because I'm buying, or because I have 25 pair of them. Yeah. It sucks. You know, celebs do it. There's celebrities that do it. Like, they post about it too. It's like, yo, fuck you, man. Like, so it's great. I mean, the good thing about buying through StockX though is when you buy the sneaker, you buy it from the seller, right? Like you have them and you're selling them through StockX. It ships to StockX. They authenticate them based off of any discrepancies. Like I bought a pair one time and they messaged me like, "Hey, we found a discrepancy in your shoe. We're going to locate another buyer for you, but the price might change."
Sure.
So then it's on me, the buyer, to decide if I want to do that.
Right.
So they charge a fee for the authentication. It's $15
easy
to you, to the purchaser. Yeah. They also charge the seller a percentage to sell through them, like as a middleman. Yeah. I want to say it's like 1% to 2%.
Okay. I mean that's a pretty good fee for the seller, but like that's what happens when you like the only reason people sell there is because they can trust it. They feel like they could trust the market, and like I've been big into crypto. It goes in waves. Fuck crypto right now. It's only going down. But that's the issue. Like back in the day, like 2013 when I got into it, it was really just like I'd message a dude on Reddit and be like, "Hey, could you send me this Bitcoin and I'll PayPal you some money?" Yeah. And there was one dude just like took $100 from me. Yeah. And it's like
that happens.
Well, so along comes Coinbase. Like Coinbase is going to make sure that doesn't happen to me, and so it makes a lot of sense. It's got to be regulated
at some level.
Yes.
Yeah. StockX was actually pre-pandemic was supposed to open a store here, and it's the same idea. Would happen is I don't know how they would have done it, but I'm assuming what would happen is you go in, sellers will sell to the store, and you go in and you see your size. There's a place called Laced Up Manhattan over here on 3rd and West 3rd and Broadway.
Okay.
Similar type thing.
Yeah.
They have pre-owned shoes, they have new shoes, and it's or shoes that they've gained from leftover, and they're harder to get items. They decide what they sell, and they'll sell it at a percentage over retail. Very rarely am I getting a shoe for retail. Most Jordan 1s are 130 to 170.
Okay. And
now they're selling between 220 and all the way up to $9,000. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Depending on what you get. So you're gonna, I've accepted that if it's something I want, like it's a colorway or a collab that I want, I'm accepting that most things I'm gonna pay over retail.
Yeah.
When you can bid on StockX, it takes longer, it's almost like eBay. And you bid against other people, and then like you raise it $1 or $2 and someone outbids you. And then what ends up happening is, hey, you won your bid. But that's how do they get you? You can buy now for this price.
Right.
It's like, I don't want to deal with all this shit. I'll buy now. Generally, all you will not, unless you're like really like, and I've gotten into like where I can search for things and sometimes you end up settling, but like generally all you're doing when you win a bid with the authentication fee, with the sales tax, with the shipping, generally all you're doing is saving sales tax. If you win a bid.
Right.
That's it. That's how I've...
And that makes you just want to buy them. Because it's like, fuck it, what's $15?
Fucking exactly. Or 20, depending on the cost, but that's...
So let's get into the prices there, because I feel like most people listening to this are like, they have some sense of like, oh yeah, shoes are really expensive right now. There's like collector shoes, all this other stuff, but like, give us the hierarchy of collector shoes right now, or even just like shoes that people care about in general. Like I just got like some Adidas sneakers that I got at Nordstrom or whatever. Obviously not gonna be worth too much, but or anything. But like from the top tier, like 18 grand Jordan shoes all the way down to like, what's the bottom of the shoe that people care about,
So you can get, we'll stick with Jordans here, because I mean, everybody knows Michael Jordan, like
sure.
Anything that everything, all of these sneakers are based around hype. Okay. Say your shoes that you got from Nordstrom, like, right, your Adidas shoes that you got from Nordstrom. Say a picture was taken of LeBron James. I don't want to say LeBron James. That's a bad example. We'll say a picture of Kanye West was taken as he was getting out of a car, and he had the same shoes that you had on at Nordstrom. Automatically, whoever posted, there's Instagram groups, post pictures of whoever. Holy shit, he's wearing these. Boom, the market goes. Phew.
Holy shit.
That's how it works. It's all based on hype.
Okay.
So here's an example for a lot of people if they want to figure out how fucking annoying hype is.
Sure.
So there's Jordan lows, there's Jordan mids, and there's Jordan highs. The highs are the OG, the original ones that he wore while he played. And there's thousands of different colorways of each, right?
And those don't really matter.
Colorways do matter.
That he, like the black and red ones, I'm assuming that he wore.
Colorways matter because it's whether he wore them, whether he was seen wearing them, whether a celebrity was wearing them, whether a celebrity hyped it. I mean, there's so many different factors that can come into why these shoes are hyped and why they sell out immediately.
Okay.
It's very rare that shoes don't, for any release, it's rare that they don't. And when they don't sell out, it's like, oh, they're bricks. No one wants them. That's kind of how they think.
Okay.
So what ended up happening is, I liked lows for a while, and I had a bunch of highs. What I started to do is I like mids. Mids are cut like just a little bit lower than the highs, and they're nice with jeans. And people for a while dogged mids, like, oh, they all come in very similar colorways as the highs.
Sure.
They were generally, the entry level price of them was like $115 to $130 a pair, right?
Yeah.
And when you would see them on StockX, they would sometimes be selling in colorways. I buy shoes based on color that I want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's obviously collabs I want and stuff that I want that's like, oh, I gotta have these because they're hyped and whatever. But in general, I would buy shoes based off of what I want. Whatever, whether it's Jordan 1, Jordan 3, Jordan 4, Jordan 10, 11, you know what I'm saying? Like the one, I'm like, I want this colorway because it goes with an outfit, or I want this colorway because I need something for, that's just how I think. So the mids, I was starting to increase my one collection. I was like, okay, these are really reasonably priced. I like the way that they fit. They fit just like a Jordan 1 high, and I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks as far as what they look like. I like the shoe, and I buy what I like, and that's what most people should do.
Yeah.
You would see people like, oh, those are mids. Oh, those are mids. Like, people, that's just people.
They could just tell just from like seeing.
Some people.
You're standing outside the club. Someone could look at your shoes.
Some people like, oh yeah, why? Yo, you got the black and red. Those are. So I bought a pair of Jordan 1 mids bred, which is the black and red colorway.
Okay.
I got them. I got them for $220. Right. Originally they were $115. I was pissed that they were $220 because I'll get back to what we're talking about. The original hybrid is going for $1,500 right now.
Okay.
If I wore that shoe in here, you're not a sneaker guy. You wouldn't know the difference.
No.
Right? I like the colorway because I wanted that colorway for things that I have, and it's a dope shoe. Now, when I found out they were $220, I was pissed. I'm like, why the fuck are mids $220 now? I'm like, is it the colorway? And I started to go through. I'm like, why are these mids expensive? Blah blah. This is bullshit. Like, and literally like 2 days after I noticed that, there was an article that said mids on the rise, and it was a picture of Jordan, Michael Jordan. He was at a practice, a Charlotte Hornets practice, like overseeing, and he had a pair of mids on.
Oh,
so now the fucking mid costs are going up. Same thing happened with the lows years ago.
Hold on. What a fuck. He knew. Yes. He knew exactly what he was doing there. He was like, you know what? These mids, not selling. Yeah. I got you. I got you. And so now the entire market just inflated because the highs are always going to sell at the high price. Yeah. But now the mids are worth what? 40% more, 50% more, what you just said?
Like, yeah, they're. I would say some of them are going up for 50% more. There's a pair that I bought.
Businessman.
There's a pair that I bought like 4 years ago. They were 4 years ago. The market was just starting to get crazy. Yeah. It's only been crazy for the last 4 years.
I was gonna say, like, I don't remember it past like at least 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah. So 4 years ago, it started to kind of like really like hit a trajectory, and there's a lot of collabs happening. But I bought a pair of Jordan 1 mids. They were Gunsmoke and Volt, and everyone was like, "Those are so dope. Where did you get those?" I was like, "I got them on StockX. They were fucking $85. They were $85. Like, those are sick." Like, I didn't even really care that they were mids at the time. Like, I had a bunch of highs. Like, it was like whatever. And I was like, look, I went back last week to look, because StockX will keep track of what they're worth. Actually, I'll look it up right now. Yeah. I'll tell you exactly what they're worth, because you can go back and see what your purchases are worth. Orders. Yeah, like, and it's insane because it shows you, it's almost just like a stock market. Like, if I wanted to unload all of these right now, like, here's my portfolio, the value of your items. I purchased since I changed my account.
Since you got to this apartment. Yeah.
So 20 items. My market value of my shoes right now are $5,413 dollars. I gained $1,709 in total money on my costs. The Gunsmoke Volts I bought for $85 are worth $298 now. I bought them for $85.
Wow.
And those are mids.
Insane. Yeah, right. But people are seeing value in it.
People see value in it because I think about it too. It's like, oh wow, like no one's buying the mids. Jordan's wearing them. They're cool. I got to get mids. That's it. Yeah. That's how it works. It's that simple.
Like I guess like I'm not surprised that like if people do think the colors look cool, then like, and they don't even notice it's not a high because they're like, I like the color scheme of that. Yeah. Like,
so a lot of people buy without knowing. A lot of people buy without knowing. I know a lot of people like, yo, I just got these Jordans, blah, 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 blah. And like in my head, I'm like, oh, those are mids. Those are cool. Like, but I don't care. Sure. That's the one thing, like, I buy what I like. I don't buy what's cool. Yes. You know, there's a couple collabs I've gotten. Like, I wanted a pair of Off-Whites. That's the collab, you know, with the late Virgil's Abloh's company with Jordan. He released, and I was like, God, I really want those because I don't have a pair of twos, and those are kind of dope. And the black colorway was the least hyped one. And I spent, the retail on them was $285 if I'm not mistaken, and I spent $350 on them. And I was like, all right, like that's a pretty good price. It's a really good price. Yeah. And then he died 2 days after I got him, and they went up to fucking $1,700.
You know what's hilarious? The fucking Ukrainian restaurant across the street from here, same exact thing. Russia declared war. They've had a party every single night. A line around the goddamn
Are they like right
block.
here on the corner?
Yeah,
I can see
right here.
busy when
There's
I was
like
walking.
news crews. There's people with flags. They're painting faces. It's like a sporting event out there, and it's like literally nobody is benefiting more than these fucking guys.
And no one even knew where Ukraine was on the map before all this happened.
I'd go on dating apps and Hinge would say, you're in the Ukrainian village. And I had to switch it to East Village because every single girl would be like, where's the Ukrainian village?
Are you in danger?
And now, well, now I'm like, I gotta go back. Like, I gotta specifically say I'm in the Ukraine. I support him. I don't know, my barber's Ukrainian. He's a good dude.
Throw a pair of mids on.
I gave him an extra $100. Fucking I say I'm a great guy. It's like, I mean, that is crazy. It's a little dark because like people are profiting off of death, but like it's kind of everything you've been saying has reminded me of like just the regular art market. Like it's you know, if you consider Michael Jordan a quote unquote artist, and these are his quote unquote works, then like
pretty much
when they go on auction or whatever, that's if he's been wearing it, then it's higher value and people snap it up, and if not, it's lower value. Like this piece of art on the wall over here is like the artist takes like sound waves from different songs, and just creates like these different patterns or whatever, and it's like $90 or whatever. But that one specifically is signed by LP and Killer Mike from Run the Jewels because that song is a Run the Jewels song, and I was like, I'll pay an extra $300 for it.
Right.
Because it's signed. There's only 25 of them, and it's signed. Is it the exact same fucking thing? Yes. Do I ever plan on selling it? No. Like, it's not for value. It's just like, I like that these guys acknowledged the thing that I have. You know?
Sure. I go outside of the Jordan market. Like I said, I'm into Yeezys too, like certain pairs and stuff like that. Because mainly, originally when I first got my first pair, it was based on hype, and then I was like, "Wow, these are the most comfortable shoes I have. I got to get these in my colorways." So you know, I kind of ventured into that market. Those actually took a dip a little bit because the new ones came out, and now they're back on the rise. So it's like you're always kind of like trying to get ahead of the game at some level. But you know, I'm trying to venture outside of the. I will venture outside. I won't wear my Jordans as much in the summer, believe it or not, because a lot of them are highs, and it's more of like a low cut sneaker season. So like I just started to get into like the Jordan lows a little bit more, and I got into like there's this pair of sneakers I just got. They're everybody knows Nike Blazers, the 77s, right? Well, they just released a pair called the Jumbos, which the logo is really big, and it's a mid-size cut shoe. It's almost like a sock, and it's got really thick laces. And I'm like, wow, the first time I wore them, like, man, these are super comfortable. I can wear these year round.
Right.
So I just ordered 2 more pairs of those in different colorways. And those aren't like break the bank. Those are like $120 each. You know what I mean? So, but then I'm like, okay, I'm running out of fucking room here, like for sneakers. Because now it's like, oh, now I like another style. And now I like another shoe. Oh, these aren't too bad. You know what I mean? So it's like, and you're always going to like Jordans. And it's like, you know, what are you going to, they're always going to be releasing shit.
So were you at all, and maybe let me get your take personally, but then also like the market's take on, if we're talking about all these inflated prices, like is there fear of a bubble? Like with what we see with playing trading cards and NFTs and crypto and like all this other stuff, but you're not worried about it?
I'm not, because I like I said, I buy to wear them. You know, you're always going to want to wear sneakers, right? Like the Jordan sneaker has always like, when they started retroing their designs, right? Like, you know, they said, let's, you know, Jordan's he makes a new shoe every year. Like I think they're like 37 now, the 38's due to come out in a couple months. So if they're at that level, like when they started going back and retroing, I think they started doing this at like 27, if I'm not mistaken. They would go back and they would say, okay, let's re-release the 2. Let's re-release the 1 again. In like 7 colorways. Now what they're going to do is they're just going to re-release. They're going to just put out Retro 1 this colorway, Retro 4 in this colorway. They'll re-release sizes and colorways that were popular. Like it's never going to end. You know what I mean? Like there's so much you can do. The style's always going to stay the same. And if the style changes, they'll just put colorways out that match the new style for the trends of the new. So it's like there's nothing. It's never going to change. As far as the cost, though, the shoe that created the hype to make it what it is now and reinvigorated, interest in Jordan again was the Jordan 33.
Okay.
That came out in 2018. It was a shoe that was laceless. It was a new type of lacing system where it was a pull tab and it tightened the shoe. It's very, as far as a basketball shoe goes, it was the pinnacle of where the Jordan brand was going for that. And then they put it out in a colorway that everybody wanted. Gotcha. It was very hard to get. And that was like, well, I can't get the 33, but I can get the 13s.
Right.
And, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it got people interested in it because it was a cool looking shoe. And then, as far as the market goes from that shoe on, those shoes kind of leveled off in price, but everyone's like back on the old ones again.
Sure. So how do these companies like figure out how to price their shoes and what type of market they're going for? Because like I don't know a ton, but I've just heard like a little bit. Like I know Kawhi's got a shoe with New Balance. I don't see anybody ever wearing them. Right. And then like the Kyries are just kind of like your standard basketball shoe. Like everyone at the University of Iowa gets the Kyries and they all pick something else.
Sure.
Because they're like, I don't really want this shoe. But it's like,
who knows?
Does it really have? I mean, is it because Kawhi's good, Kyrie's good?
We were just having an argument last night. Actually, it's funny that you bring that up because we were talking about LeBron and Jordan and who's the greatest and all this. And like,
sure.
There's a guy that was really. Personally, I don't care what you believe in. I think Jordan's the greatest player of all time, and I based it off of stats and I based it off of eye test. You looked at Jordan.
Yep.
I remember I'm 41 years old. I remember when he was a kid. I remember when I was a kid, I watched him play. I just always knew that team was going to win because of him. Yep. Granted, he had his surrounding players. Granted, he didn't win before Pippen got there. But then I was like, okay, well, you know what? LeBron lost a championship with the best team that he ever had around him. Jordan would have never let that happen. So there's all these things, and I say, you know what though? You want to know, you want to determine who's more legendary? People aren't flooding stores to get LeBron sneakers.
Yeah.
They're still flooding to buy that guy's sneakers. And they're selling at this level after all these years of him being retired just because Nike took their logo off some of their sneakers and made a new logo of him.
Yeah.
That hasn't happened for LeBron. So
that's true. There has been some more time there. And
more time.
We could have the LeBron Jordan date off of this podcast.
Yeah.
Discussion after this podcast.
I think he's number 2.
Yeah.
I think he's number 2.
No. And that's the other thing. It's like nobody thinks LeBron's bad.
No.
But
not at all.
It's it's a good point. I think a lot of that has to do with like age too.
Sure,
like younger people never saw Jordan play.
Right.
And so like I've seen highlights. I'm also a Pistons fan, so I'm biased.
Yeah.
So I'm like, but
and they owned it.
But the other part of it is like, and maybe you actually might know some stats on this, like what happened to the Kobe's after he died. So like how much did those go up? If LeBron dies in a helicopter, is his shoe gonna be worth more than Jordan?
It's funny that you bring that up. I was at Dick's Sporting Goods buying a pair of sneakers probably maybe 6 months before he passed away. And I was like, oh, these Kobe's are dope. They had the Kobe Mamba Focus. They were white. They have the logo, and then like the bottom half is half gum, half black. And I was like, oh, I gotta have these. $100, what a great deal, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I wear them. Then he passed away, and I just checked the market like the day after he passed away on them. And my $99 Kobe's were up to like fucking $750.
Wow.
And now, granted, same thing happened with Virgil when he passed away with his collab shoes. But, those shoes now, they don't make those anymore. They don't make that colorway anymore. And that shoe is worth probably like $350 right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to retract back to your question about like the Kyries and all that stuff, and, a lot of people have different views on things. Whether you view, we'll even talk Kyrie's a very vocal person. A lot of people don't think he's a good teammate. Whatever your belief is.
Wonder why they would think that.
Yeah, right. So a lot of people think like, within, the world, like, I don't want to wear that shoe. And the other flip side of it too is a lot of people want like Jordan brand. When they sign an athlete, like you can have a contract with Nike, you can have a contract with New Balance, you can have a contract with Adidas, you can have a contract with Reebok, or you can have a contract with Jordan brand. So Jordan as his own brand is separate from Nike, even though they're Nike.
Gotcha.
That's kind of why that happens.
It's like a parent company. So
like Zion Williams is signed with Jordan brand.
Gotcha.
Derek Jeter was signed with Jordan brand.
That makes sense. Yeah. I assume it's a lot like his golf course where he lets 400 people play, and if you're not Barack Obama, you're not getting on the course.
I can imagine.
It's Yeah, but that all goes into the hype of it, right? Like
Absolutely.
the scarcity of it. But
Exclusivity,
so I
yeah.
guess that would be a good question. Like, what is the Zion shoe worth? Because I watch more college than pro, to be
Sure.
honest. And so like that was all anybody could talk about for 2 years was Zion Williamson. Zion Williamson. He hasn't really done anything in the
Been
NBA.
hurt. He doesn't
It's
want to
like
play for the Pelicans anymore.
Yeah.
His shoe just released. It's no hype to low hype. It's
Even like the highs, like how are those determined?
so I think that they put out Jordan Brand puts out a shoe. It's the Zion. I think it's called the Zion 2, if I'm not mistaken. And I saw pictures of it. It's not my style, and he's not even playing right now. You know what I'm saying? So the other shoe, that's a Jordan Brand. I actually have a pair of the Why Not .1s. It's Russell Westbrook shoe, and he's had 5 of them. They just released the 5th one. It's not hype.
He's not having a good season.
No, it's not hype. It's not selling out. It's not something that will sell out. It's something that you could go buy at the store probably. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how those shoes are. Unless something, happens where, it's controversial, or I gotta have that shoe because he did this, or I gotta have that shoe because of this, or this guy's so great. I mean, look at LeBron. LeBron's shoes come out, and those aren't hard to get. You can get them. I mean, they're those. Some of them will sell out, but like you can get them easily.
So is that? I mean, so the answer, like the corporate answer to that, would be like put less of them out. So there's like you create like a false scarcity to it, but
sure they do that.
Then you don't have enough people wearing the shoe.
Yeah,
and so nobody's gonna notice it. That is an interesting dynamic. I mean, I guess. It's advertising. It's a new form
Supply
of
and demand,
advertising. Influence advertising.
And a lot of these companies, like whether it's Instagram pages or like Complex Sneakers, like they do. Complex Sneakers is an Instagram. They follow the NBA. They follow sneaker releases, and they'll always post like what players are wearing in the tunnel before they come into the game. And they'll be like, who had the best kicks in the tunnel? Like, and they'll take like 10 pictures, and that always.
So they're starting to come into football too now.
Sure.
It's like all the photos of like Joe Burrow walking out with the diamond chain.
Yeah.
Like, if there's like 10 of those, I bet they're all worth $1 billion at this point.
Oh my God, yeah. They're always, I mean, those Instagram influencers, they're called influencers for a reason.
Yeah.
And these are major pages with millions and millions and millions of followers. And if like, I mean, I know I follow probably like 15 to 20 different sneaker Instagram pages, and they're all telling you the same thing. And it's like, wow, I know this colorway is coming out soon. I got to get that. I mean, that's an interesting colorway.
Yeah.
So it's just the way it goes, And then there's like, that's just me. There's millions of other people that are looking at that shit.
Yeah. So one thing that I want to get into on like sneakers is the maintenance of it, because like that's a huge lane on TikTok, and like I'm definitely, I don't live over there, but every once in a while I'll get one of like some dude who like goes to thrift stores and he finds Jordans and he like cleans them up and all. Like, one, how do you maintain your shoes, and then 2, what's the market on like a refurbished shoe like that? Do people care? Do people like it more? Do they like it less? Like,
I don't know. So we'll get to your first part of the question. I clean my shoes after I wear them every time.
Okay.
I haven't.
Because you're in the city. My first thought when you said you were a sneakerhead is like, how the fuck do you keep them clean and not beat up? Because when I was down in New Orleans, our Uber driver was like, don't come down for Mardi Gras. Saw a guy get stabbed one time. We were like, what happened? He's like, well, some dude was standing there. He had bright white new shoes on. Somebody stepped on his foot, and then that guy stabbed him. And I was like, why are you wearing your brand new shoes to fucking Mardi Gras on Bourbon Street? That is a dumb idea.
So when you wear, you have to be conscientious of where you're going. And what, like, for example, like I won't wear sneakers if it's going to rain. I won't wear sneakers if it's going to snow. You know what I'm saying? Like I pay attention to that stuff. Or if it does, I'll wear something that's a little bit less like,
not worried about it.
I'm not too worried about it. But what happens if something happens when I'm out? Like I have these things called quick wipes. They're like a foaming napkin kind of thing. Like and they come in, like you take them out.
You steal it from the Buffalo Wild Wings and
bring
them home.
Right, similar idea. But I buy them either like $10.99 on Amazon for a pack of 2. And you get 60 in each one. So every time I wear them, every time I wear a pair of sneakers, when I come home at night or in the morning, I'll just take them and I'll just scrub the bottoms of them. And I'll scrub around the sides. And there's a pair that I have of Air Max 70s. They're white, red. I was actually almost going to wear them tonight. And once every 6 months, I'll delace them and I'll throw them in the washing machine on low. with cold water.
Okay.
Never would I ever do that with a pair of Jordans.
Sure.
Or anything like that.
Before if any sneakerheads are listening to this, they almost just turn that off.
Never would I ever do that. Like I said, this is just I've had that shoe for 4 years and they look brand new.
Okay.
Because I do that. But I'll clean the sides with that. You have to clean them. If you want to maintain them looking well, you have to clean them after you wear them. If I have a shoe that has a black bottom or a dark bottom, I don't do it as much, but I'll always clean the ones with white bottoms or gray bottoms because and I'll wipe the sides. And plus I have so many pairs that like I rotate through them. I mean, there's pairs that I have that I've only worn twice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like I'm able to kind of keep them very fresh because of that.
I can imagine, yeah.
There's also things with the ones with the icy bottoms. Like I have a pair of Concord 11s.
What do you mean by icy bottom?
Like the clear bottoms.
Oh yeah. I've seen those.
So those have the tendency to yellow.
Okay.
After time, where you wear them and the dirt gets in the yellow, and there's really nothing you can do about that. I got this thing called Soul Clean, and it's something that it's a process though. I haven't used it yet, but you got to put it on there. You have to scrub it with the brush. Rinse it off, put it on again, scrub it, then you're supposed to keep it in the sunlight for up to 5 hours. So that will brighten that sole.
Gotcha.
It's a pain in the ass.
That is actually the kid on TikTok. It's actually like I've seen him do that. But.
So I have that. That's something that you use for clear bottom shoes, but it's tough to get it back to its original look.
Sure.
You know? And when you have shoes on like that, you just kind of, it sounds stupid, but you like walk different. You just walk more and you pay attention more to where you walk.
Yeah.
You know?
Which everyone needs to do in New York anyway, so you don't step on a dead rat or a child or whatever. Like, you break out the industrial wipes to get that like carcass off of it.
Exactly.
So what is that like? Let's say you've had like those an icy bottom shoe for a while. It gets a little yellow. How much would that value come down?
I would say, okay, so like I remember I got those Concords when I got them for like $325. The retail on was $220, and now they're probably worth like $500 something. And yellowing, if I could probably sell those shoes for what I bought them for right now, even though they're yellow,
okay,
because the rest of the shoe is in great condition, and someone would be like, "Oh, I can get these for $300. They're used. I don't give a shit. Like, who knows how long I wore them."
Right.
But if I wanted,
and they're banking on the value going up, probably. Or they just want to wear them.
Or they just want to wear them. They don't spend $500 for a new pair.
Fair.
You know.
Fair. Yeah.
It's crazy though. I never got into buying pre-owned.
See that blows my mind. I could shoes. Feet are not. They're gross.
Yeah.
Like especially you're walking around. It's 100 degrees in the city. Like you're gonna be sweaty, and it's.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Well,
I know you can wash them.
But if you buy pre-owned through GOAT or StockX, which are the same type of company, they send them to them they clean them first.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there's also a way you can buy shoes. I got it. I didn't buy them, but I almost did. I got into searching this market. You can buy from GOAT. You can buy new, pre-owned, and defective. Defective sometimes will be just the boxes damaged. Whether the corner of the box is pushed in, or they were a display shoe and there's like a smudge on the front, but it's still a brand new shoe.
Right.
And I'm like, send me that shoe. I'll get that fucking smudge out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but the person doesn't want to, they know that that's on there, so they just want to sell it defective. And you'll probably get it for, sometimes I've seen them up to like $100 cheaper than they would be selling normally.
Wow.
So the defective market is pretty, you have to be careful because you have to get the pictures, but those companies authenticate them, and they want them to show you what's wrong with the shoe.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's nothing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But it's enough.
So give me the I guess we'll wrap on this. Like, give me the range of sneakerhead. Like, where do you fit into that? There's obviously most people who don't give a fuck, and that's why this stuff is cool. Is because, but then like. How high up does it go? Like, are people going to like conventions?
Yeah.
Are people like they're like basing their entire life on this stuff? Or...
I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being somebody who doesn't give a fuck, and 10 being people who are going to conventions and have apartments that they dedicate just to having their shoes stored in.
Yeah.
Or houses where they have basements that sort of shoes. That being a 10, I would say I probably fall within like the 5 to 6 range.
Wow.
Because I love my sneakers. I love styling around my sneakers. I don't think I would ever get to the 10 range. Tell me, if I had my own house and I was like, oh,
yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Like, I like knowing what's going on, but it's not an obsession.
Sure.
I guess I would say my vice swings more towards the styling of it and like being able to like. I don't know. I like to look fresh. You know what I'm saying? Like I like to look fresh. I mean, dress around the shoe.
We're performers. And it took me too long to figure that out. But it's like, hey man, if you look nice on stage, people like you more.
Right. And even
oh
just,
shit.
Even just, like, I mean, I'm a single guy. Like I've seen girls be like, wow, he dresses really nice. I'm like, I have black joggers on and a fucking black sweatshirt. But they're like, women always look at shoes. They always look at shoes first.
Okay.
It's one thing that they'll notice. They'll notice your shoes. They'll notice your hair. They'll notice your fingernails. Like those are things that they look at. You know what I'm saying? And if you're dressing well around your shoes, it's a plus.
Yeah.
And also, like you just said, we're performers. It makes you feel good to look good.
Yeah.
You got to look good to play good, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I guess it's something that I've always like gravitated towards.
Okay. That makes sense. So last thing. Is there anything coming out real soon here that you're like,
yes,
I'm getting those? What should people be looking out for?
Okay, you look out for whatever you want to look out for.
Sure.
Because everybody's style is different. There's a pair of Jordan 4 infrareds coming out that I'm very, very keen on. They pushed this release back 3 times because of COVID. That's another thing, whole other topic. A lot of Nike releases have been pushed back, and some Nike stores haven't even gotten shoes in the last year and a half.
Yeah.
But this the Jordan 4 infrared's coming out May 12th. Now it's nothing special. I'm not saying it's nothing special. The 4s sell out very, very fast. It's just something that it's the colorway I like. It caught my eye. It's dark gray. It's light gray. It's got the infrared red, which is almost like a neon red.
No.
And it just looks good. It's got black laces. I'm like, I could wear that shoe a lot.
I'm gonna need to Google that.
I'll show it to you.
That sounds sick. Everybody else should Google that too.
Yeah.
But dude, this was super interesting. I had no idea about
it's crazy.
Most
it's a
of the
sick
stuff.
Disease. It's a sick fucking problem.
Hey, we all got our problems. Yours just happened to increase in value, which honestly, good problem to have.
True.
So, thanks for coming by. Thanks for doing this. Fun. Where can people find you? Instagram, shows?
I'm on Instagram at Brandon Trusso. I'm on Facebook, Brandon Trusso, Twitter at Brandon Trusso. Shows, I'm at the Grizzly Pear Tuesday through Sunday, usually between 8 and midnight. I got some stuff coming up out of town that I'm going to be doing soon.
Where at?
May, we're going to be in PA. One of our bigger shows is going to be in Warren, PA. That's a fire hall. Pretty sure no one's going to come to that, but it's going to be a dope show. Gonna be in Buffalo, New York soon too. A couple things going on there. Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah, definitely check them out on Instagram. Like half the time that we're talking, it's about how meme pages keep stealing your tweets.
Yes.
And it's just like, oh, it's so fucking painful because they never tag you. They never tag you.
I just saw someone steal one of my jokes as a meme on TikTok, and they said the joke like it was theirs, and I was like, "That's piece of shit."
God.
That's what happens when you go viral, though, right?
I know. That's one. The worst is like I had one video, 6 million on TikTok. Some dude took it. 1.5 on Instagram. I've uploaded it, re-uploaded it 3 times. Most I can get is 4K views.
It's annoying.
And it's just like cool. So this guy just like beat me by 10,000% on my own video. Like that's bullshit. All right, this is a lot of fun. We'll have to do another one soon.
Good time, bro. It was great. Thank you.